All right, welcome everybody. This is Mike Klingler. I just wanted to give you an announcement. This is Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, February 12th, and USI is back on the Ethereum blockchain. If you go to www.etherchain.org/charts/top miners, you will find top miners over the last 24 hours for Ethereum, and USI is listed right. Let's see, where are they? They're here, right here. So let me highlight this. So this is worldwide. So they're back on charts. I don't know what number that is, like 15th or something like that. You can watch it, you can count it, but obviously they're in the top, in the top powerhouses worldwide again for Ethereum, just as they promised they would be. Now, a lot of people are really upset with USI. I think lack of communication, which I have stressed before, is a big cause of that. We can only speculate as to why that might be. I remember about almost 18 years ago now. Was it that long? 16 years ago now. I was in a situation that reminds me a lot of Horst. I had put my heart and soul into a vision that I really believed in. Some people that I was, some partners had kind of screwed me over and ran off with a bunch of our money that we needed to fulfill our obligations. And so I was left being the one to communicate all the challenges and trying to hold it all together. And I remember just getting to the point where as months and months went on and we weren't able to fully fulfill everything yet, and everybody was hanging on, and there was a lot of angry people, there were a lot of supportive people. I just remember being in a situation where it was actually quite intense. My mom was dying in the room next to me, literally in a horrific situation with cancer, and I was on webinars having to inspire people as she was right across the way. It was intense. And I don't know what Horst's personal situation is, but I met him a couple times personally. I believe he's going for it with all his guts. I don't know what mistakes they've made. I don't know what challenges they've had to face. I don't know, partners, but I know the realities behind the scenes of trying to make a really big vision happen. And it's intense. And so a lot of the naysayers, like, I know that they just never been in business before, so they don't understand. I know a lot of people, I can understand why they might think that USI is committing fraud or whatever. Personally, I don't believe it. Now, you can attack me for that personal belief all you want, but I just don't believe that's their intention. Now, does that mean they're definitely going to pull all this off? No, it doesn't mean that. But I do not believe that their intention ever was to harm people or to fraud people. They would have given up a long time ago. My God, nobody chooses this situation that they're in right now of this much challenge. Like, you just don't choose that. And the fact that they're still going for it and they're back on the Ethereum blockchain just confirms for me. Now, you can disagree, but it confirms for me that their intention's in the right place. Again, that doesn't guarantee they're going to succeed. And right now, for those that are in my USI discussions group, you know that I'm not personally recommending that people purchase BTC packages or put more funds into the USI vision until something is delivered upon, or at least there's some form of better communication. Like, for example, it's a little crazy to me that we didn't hear the good news from them that they're back on the Ethereum blockchain. And there's a lot of questions around the tech coin coming out. I'm assuming that they're planning to roll out a lot of communications. I'm assuming, kind of going back to my story when I felt like I was in somewhat of a similar situation where my heart was in the right place, but due to circumstances, I could barely hold it together. And we did end up fulfilling our obligations to a large degree after, a year and a half of a hellish situation. In my case, 16 years ago in my business, it's kind of parallel to this. But I think because of that experience, I have a lot more empathy for Horst and understanding of what may be going on than some people that have never been in business or in stressful environments in business where, people screwed you over, business contracts didn't work out, market changes suddenly changed, and you're left in a situation where you need to fulfill your obligations, but you don't fully maybe have all the resources to pull off the vision as quickly or as smoothly as you had hoped, and yet you're still trying to do so because your heart's in the right place. That's where I think he is. You are welcome to disagree with me. But again, a lot of you disagree in very tactless ways, very crass ways. And I just want to mention to those of you that you're completely irrelevant to the discussion. If you can't engage in discussion in a somewhat constructive or respectful manner, then obviously you get banned from the video YouTube account, mine and others, and you're just not able to participate in any adult sort of fashion. I acknowledge that USI might not make it. I acknowledge that I may be wrong in my perception that their intention's in the right place. But I'm just sharing with you transparently and openly about how I feel, and I welcome people into, the discussion who can do so in an adult style, manner. But if you can't, like, you're just completely irrelevant to anything constructive whatsoever. With that said, for those of you who you believe in the vision or are vested into it in some way, couple of things. One, I still don't know what's going on with how the regulators are in the United States and Canada are going to interpret all of this. Like, it's unclear to me, but I'm not advising anyone do anything with USI. You'll see there's no link below my video. I really feel like we need to see them deliver before we even begin. Like, it's their turn. Like, they've got the football in their hands. It's their turn to deliver on something, right? And this is a step in that direction. Seeing Ethereum on the blockchain for USI, them globally as a leader in that regard, is awesome. This is one of their longer term investment strategies. But how they're going to deal with U.S. regulators, the cease and desist in Texas, I know there's stuff going on in Washington State. Like, I'm really curious how they're going to address all of that. And until that's kind of more clear for me, I am not going to sit here and pretend like everything's okay, everything's going to be all right. I mean, there's a lot of challenges that they need to overcome, and it's in their court to do it, is what I'm saying. And to solve that and to resolve that. We can't do that for them. I do want to be as supportive as possible, and I've gotten a lot of flack from people in USI saying, I'm not being as supportive as I should be, or I'm hindering the process for them. Look, we need to be responsible. Like, I had, someone in their 80s send me an email that just sent more money into USI and they can't withdraw it, and they didn't know there wasn't a withdraw button there. Like, I feel a responsibility to people to say, hey, look, now's not the time to send more funds into USI. That's my choice. That's my option. I feel that that's my ethical obligation under the current situation. But I am all for USI succeeding. Man, I'm all for it. And I am rooting for them, and I am sharing with everybody, hey, score one for USI right now. They got on the top miners board again here in deep February for Ethereum. They're obviously scratching and clawing to succeed, and I respect them for it. I absolutely respect them for it. And we need to acknowledge that. It's no small thing. They could have easily quit a long time ago, and most people would have, I assure you. So judge me as you will. I'm keeping what I feel is a mindful but still responsible, cautiously optimistic view on all of this. I'm watching the U.S. regulatory environment. I'm not putting no link here, and I'm not promoting it, and I'm not encouraging people until I see them deliver a little bit more. I'd like to see a lot more communication. I'm assuming and hoping that we're going to hear some communication and they're just getting their ducks in a row. I'm assuming, and just kind of reflecting back to where I was years ago when I was in a similar situation. I mean, I don't know how similar, but how I perceive where they're at. I think they're just tired. They're focusing all of their energy on doing. That's why we see this Ethereum, score on the board, on the blockchain with their mining. I think they're focusing on action, doing, and it just takes a lot of energy to communicate. And while everyone wanted to see that from me a lot more 16 years ago, and I did the best I could, I can kind of understand why you want to stay focused on operations and implementation, definitely, especially during difficult times. So let's hope that I'm right and that this Ethereum score on the board is an indication that their hearts are in the right place, their intentions in the right place. That's what I believe. You're welcome to disagree, and if you do so respectfully. I'm just going to ban you from my YouTube channel. Like, why would I want to engage with somebody like that? And if you agree with me, but you don't like how I'm saying, hey, hold back before you put more into it, just try to be a little bit understanding that someone in my position needs to be very clear that I'm not recommending people put more funds into it until they deliver. Like, try to appreciate and understand I'm all for USI, but they need to deliver at least on communication, and I need to be a little clearer on US regulatory compliance before I feel comfortable doing that. So, okay, so I wanted to let you know about this. If you want to stay updated, we do have a USI discussions group. I'll put that link under the video below, and I'm also going to put a link to a lead capture page that I have that if you want to fill it out, I'm going to share with you all the stuff that's going on with regulatory compliance, what I learned about Washington State and their concerns with USI, and also the Texas cease and desist. I'm going to help you navigate that kind of stuff. I'm going to help you navigate how to generate leads. Something I do know very much about is how to generate a lot of leads to be able to be able to promote what you put your heart and soul into. I'm not going to be advising you. You need to check out your local state and local area laws before you promote something with the leads that you generate with my system. That'll be on you. But I can show you how to do extremely well in marketing. So fill that out if you want to learn about my systems for generating leads, letting people have access to one for free right now for 30 days or more. It might take us about 14 days to set that up for you, I should say, because we do them manually. We're really hands-on. But I'm giving you a lot of my marketing knowledge. So you can fill that out, come on in and learn about lead generation and how you can use my systems to tap into the crypto world and cryptocurrency commissions using my system, something I definitely know a lot about. And feel free to join our USI discussions team to stay up on what's going on with USI. So big deal, I think, that they're one of the top miners in the world again, and they're back on the board. Looking forward to more news and hopefully more communication from USI.